like to take off my safety chain and I like to loosen up my strap so that it hangs to just below the frame. But I'm going to leave that hooked. Make sure that you leave that hooked. When I back into the water, I'm going to not let it go, but I want to make sure that the boat doesn't float away with this. So I'm gonna back in just so that it comes in a little bit, moves off of the bunkers just a little bit. Now, this is a bunker trailer. If you have a roller trailer, this is not gonna work for you. You need some other way to secure it because you'll roll that right off, okay? This is not necessarily the best way. It's certainly not the only way to solo launch, but it's the best way that I found, and I've been doing it for about 6 years now. I am gonna back in until the top of my fender. I want the top of my fenders to be about level with the water, and I want to see my boat just slide off a little bit. I don't want it to actually pull tight on that rope. I want it to just back off, all right? So I'm going to back in, and I'll be right back with you. As you can see, the boat just broke loose from the roller, but it didn't slide off of the trailer. We just have that hooked on just in case. I'm going to go inside. We're going to fire up the engines before I come out and I unhook that. Now when I come out, since I'm doing this myself, I'm going to actually back the boat off, pull it into the dock, and then I've got to run out to the back of the boat, grab my lines, and jump onto the dock. I've got both of my lines set right over here. I've got them rolled up nicely, not tangled, so that I can jump off and I can grab that rope very quickly. That's very convenient if you are launching by yourself, or if you're pulling up to a dock by yourself. Also, if you're pulling into a marina, maybe to get fuel or something, they're sitting right there. A lot of times they send somebody out to help you. Very easy for them to just grab the ropes and help you. I've got my engines running. I'm going to run to the front and I'm going to unhook that strap. Now we're just going to back slowly off, get lined up with the dock. We've got our ropes all nice right here. Now all we've got to do is secure this and pull our trailer out. All right, let's get this boat out of the water. As you can see, I've got my trailer backed in. When I'm retrieving my boat, I like to leave the top of my fenders just out of the water a little bit. Helps me drive up easier without having to worry about sliding back down. Now, obviously, I've already got the boat back to the dock. I can do a video on docking if you think that'd be helpful to you. Just leave something in the comments. We can make a future video on that. I assume you already got to the dock, though. You're ready to pull your boat out of the water on the trailer. I like to, especially in a windy situation like this, I don't really have much of a harbor. If you look out here, I'm right out into the bay. So we get a fairly windy out here, especially on some days. So I like to, whenever possible, I prefer to dock on my port side. But when on a windy day, I like the wind pushing me into the dock rather than pushing me away from the dock, especially when you're unloading. That's especially helpful, pulling into the dock. The wind helps you push in rather than pulling you away, especially when you're on your own. I can't talk here. All right, so we're gonna untie the boat. I'm gonna fire it up, I'm gonna untie it, and then we're gonna start driving up.